record button.
Good idea.
And that is recording now, so we're ready to get started. So thank you everyone for joining us on this Wednesday evening, or whatever evening or day or time of morning it is that you're watching this recording.
There's in New Zealand, Jay, so they're coming on and it'll be about 9:30 there now, so it's fantastic that
they will be in their pajamas.
Absolutely.
So tonight is all about recommending retail. This is a huge topic, so much so that Lisa Conway, the founder of Zing, the company that we work with, has written a book on it. A thick book too, with lots of chapters, because it is a huge part of your business. And for some of you, a huge part of your business that is really lacking. So Marie and I put our heads together a few months back and we decided to make a series of webinars, and we're launching them all throughout 2019. And the very first one that we decided to do was on retail, for very good reason, because it's a massive untapped revenue stream and solution to your clients' problems that they have with their hair and skin. So it was an absolute no-brainer to start with retail. So here we are tonight, and thank you for registering and putting away an hour of your time to listen to us. We promise that it will be very, very inspirational, very helpful, very educational. And we look forward to hearing your wins and your results from tonight's webinar, because there will be some.
Absolutely.
Marie, did you want to keep your video on so people can see you during the screen share, or you can turn it off?
I'm going to turn my video off and we'll bring up the screen now.
No worries at all. Here we go. Let me bring up the presentation. Marie, can you see that from your end?
I certainly can.
That's a good sign, means it's working for everyone else. Excellent. So let's get started. And I might throw over to Marie now. I always talk too much. And there's always a why. There's always a reason behind why we decided to choose a certain topic. And I'd love to know from Marie, why are you passionate? Why are you sharing about retail this evening?
Yeah, sure, Jay. So I think my passion behind retail came after about 11 or 12 years in business and realising that it was a missed opportunity. So 20 years of having a salon, there was a little old lady that used to come in every 4 weeks and having hair and beauty, and she used to have a lip and chin wax, and back then I think it was about $22 or something like that, and little old Mary always had her $20 note wrapped in the front of her wallet, and I judged her, and I always used to think that she didn't have money, until one day that Lisa Conway was coaching the salon, and she came in and did a training, and the thing we had to do was to put on and take into the beauty room 3 products. And every time we put those products on, we were to explain why we were doing it and give those extra benefits to the client. Mary walked out and spent nearly $400 on product, and I was absolutely blown away. So from that day on, I never ever looked back that a client wouldn't buy retail. I judged, and I shouldn't have. And from that day on, I opened my eyes why I should share this with everybody, because we do that. And I believe that clients will buy if you actually look after them and share your knowledge.
Awesome. Very good. I've heard that story lots and lots of times, and I always smile when you tell it.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, her name was Mary, legitimately Mary?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, good. Yeah, very good. So my story is slightly different. I was also coached by Lisa Conway, and she was astounded by how many clients we looked after, but how very little retail units would move off our shelves every week. And I actually said to her, being very naive, and I was either 21 or 22, yeah, I've actually thought about not even having retail, just being a service business. And she probably nearly fell off her chair. I actually can't remember her reaction. I'm sure it would have been poor. And it was just, it got in the way. I didn't like pushing product on people. I didn't like that feeling of recommending something that was going to up their bill. And I really had a lot of blocks around recommending home care. And it wasn't until about probably 5 or 6 months down the track after her challenging my mindset on that, and about $2,000 a week worth of retail sales extra than what we were really doing, what we were already doing as a total, I had no idea of the untapped potential in my salon, none at all. And I also had no idea of the missed opportunity that I was denying of my clients' solutions to their problems. I only thought about me and my team and what did and didn't work for me. So I had quite a selfish point of view, which was whipped out of me very quickly by Lisa Conway.
Oh, I can imagine it would have been.
Yeah,
very interesting. Yeah.
I try to block it out.
So let's have a look what's possible. So this salon here, this is a real salon. So this is a stylist in a salon that one week had 17 clients and then 20 the following. Look at the difference just in 1 week by putting a system in place, how it went from 14 retail to 18. From 2,700 in sales to 2,800. So the new clients came in, that increased as well. The difference in what can happen when you put a system in place is massive. So do some sums. So have a little bit of a think yourself now and grab a calculator, because an average salon has around 80 clients coming in the business a week. So if you looked at this particular stylist, then they've got around that 20 mark per week. So if you've got 4 stylists or 4 beauty therapists, this would equate to around 80. An average product is around $30, and I'm sure you'd agree. Some could be a little higher and some could be a little lower. If we were to take a $30 product and times it by 80 clients that come into your business, this would equate to $2,400. Times that by 52 weeks of the year that you're open, it's $124,000 that you're actually missing out on. It's massive.
It's actually 124,800.
Oh, sorry, I missed the 800.
And yes, we have to count it all.
Exactly. So it's a massive amount of money, and I think if you actually have a real good think about what's happening in your business and where you could change that number. So let's look at this salon. So this is a salon that I actually looked after from 1 year to nearly 12 months and 1 week later. So look at the numbers here. This is a real life example. Imagine if this was you. They saw 108 clients 1 year and 121 the year later. So not that much different.
No.
The retail quadrupled. It went from 56 to 153. So look at the difference here in the retail dollars. There was I did a quick sum before, there's $6,423 difference here in what the salon actually turned over. Now, if you times that by 52 weeks, there's 333,000 plus in revenue, just in retail sales, that this salon was missing out on. So let's just have a think. Now, imagine if you divided that by 2, because really it's about that 100% markup on a product, you've made $166,000 profit. What would you do with that? I know it sounds like it's a lot of money. So $166,000 could be very impacting on so many things. It could be that buffer in your account, you know, that little bit of extra money that you like to have for the just in case. It could be money to help your family. It could give you a decent wage every single week. And if you really don't want the money, give it away to charity. It's a massive difference, isn't it, Joe?
I always say that if you're not realizing your true potential due to laziness or choice, and you're denying that amount of profit margin coming through your business by solving client problems with your clients, denying your friends, your family, and charities of that money is selfish. So if you know how to turn the tap on and make that amount of money that can impact people's lives seriously, and you choose not to do it, it's selfish. So there's so many people in business that don't want for much. They don't actually need a lot of money to have their ideal lifestyle, and that's okay. But to not push past that and not make that money and give it away, like, it doesn't make sense to me.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So let's have a look at your mindset. So let's think about it. I'd like you to consider what's really holding you back, because we can deliver this exact same information to 50 different salon owners and 25 will get it. The 25 of them will run with it. They'll say, yep, I can see where that's actually going to happen. And the other 25 just do nothing. So you really need to change your mindset that this is possible. And also to think about, that moment where you think, how does the salon down the road do it? They're always busy. They're always fully booked. Retail is about servicing your clients and finding out what their needs are in between visits, because they can't just do it just alone. They need you to help them on that journey. So change your mindset, because it's absolutely possible. So you can stay the same. You can stay exactly the same how you're going now, do the same figures, or if you want to make a change, it's your decision. So you choose, you need to commit, and in 12 months, if you don't do anything, you'll be in exactly the same place. It's your choice if you want to make the change. It's like a diet, really.
Love a good diet.
Absolutely.
So there's 5 main reasons that we have recognized at Zing that hold us back from realizing our true potential when it comes to suggestion, recommendation, and in particularly retail. And the very first one is spend. Now, I'm going through 5 tonight, and the first one's spend, but I want you to write down which one really resonates with you. Okay, you might dabble in all of them, or it might be just one and go, yes, that's me. That's what I need to change in my mindset. So the first one is spend. And an example of that would be, let's say that you do a $130 high-end facial treatment, but then to recommend eye cream, a vitamin A serum, a vitamin C for moisture, a cleanser and a toner, that would push that $130 facial into the $400 service mark. And that's just too much money. Or even in the hair industry, it might be that you've got a client that has upgraded to a full head of foils from a half, and that's an extra $35. And then to suggest a treatment, and then to suggest Olaplex, and then to suggest having a haircut and buying the blonde shampoo and the toning shampoo, that would make their bill double. Like, that makes you uncomfortable. And if that's you, you'll probably find yourself at the till when it comes to read out a number, wanting to say, okay, Mary, that's $50, please. You mutter it under your breath. And it's because that dollar value just feels uncomfortable. Okay, so if that one's you, write down on your piece of paper in front of you, hopefully you got a piece of paper, that it's the spend that you have issues with. Now, what people are prepared to spend on their hair, on their beauty, on entertainment, on eating out, wine, shoes, anything is 100% their business and 100% none of yours. So your block around what people see value in is around you, not them. So perception is projection. So what you perceive to be true, you project onto others. So if you think that what you offer is expensive, you're going to project that onto your clients, and it's not healthy. It's a very selfish way to do business. So the only thing that you need to consider is giving your clients options to spend. Now, the end outcome isn't that they all say yes, because that's not reality. The end outcome is that you've given them an option, and it's their free will, it's their choice 100% to say yes, no, or maybe next time. That's up to them. Okay. The next one, my favorite image, I sourced this one. What's he say? How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard? It's my favorite part of the movie. I can just feel Maria rolling her eyes. So we're scared of the no. So you might recommend to 10 clients an amazing new blonde shampoo or an incredible new eye cream that's come into the salon. And out of the 10 clients, 5 say yes and 5 say no. Now, the interesting thing is that the 5 people that say no, that carries so much more weight than the 5 that said yes. So even if one person out of the 10 said, no, I'm not spending that much money on an eye cream, that's ridiculous, you'll hang on to that and you won't focus on the 9 that have said yes. So if you find that you're one of those people that is conscious of the no, your only job is to give them options. And to give them the option and allow them the free will to choose, that is your only job. And you will get yeses and you will get no's. And that's the reality of life. That's the reality of business. Okay, so the only job is to get an answer out of them. Yes or no, they're both okay answers. The next one is that we don't have a system. Now, not having a system is like going through business or going through your day blindfolded. Now, what a system is best practice. What is the most efficient, the most effective, the best way to offer what we do? Whether it's suggesting a service, whether it's rebooking your client, whether it's showing them something new. What's the best way to do it in our salon? So if you don't have a system for recommendation, if you don't have a system or a policy for your consultation for every category of service that you offer, you're not being consistent, and your clients pay for consistency. So I want you to have a think. If you were to implement a system with your brow clients, let's say that every single time we have a brow client, we give them the hand mirror and we say, what do you like and what don't you like? Then you provide some solutions. And then once you've waxed or threaded their brows, you say to them, now I'm just going to fill your brows in with a pencil just to define the shape. Is that okay? And then at the end of that, you show them again with the mirror and they go, wow, that looks beautiful. And you say, great. The pencils are $29.95. You can do this yourself at home. It's really easy. Just follow the shape you've already got. That's a system. It's that simple. So simple, we miss it. So if you don't have systems on how to recommend, you're shortchanging yourself, your clients, and you're denying your team of reaching their targets. The next one is probably the one that we don't like to admit the most, and is that we're all a little bit judgy, some worse than others. And when we were planning this webinar a while back, I was saying to Marie, I used to be very creative with how I would judge people. So when, particularly a new client, when you're gathering their details, and I say, great, so, and what's your street address? And they say, it's 49 Smith Street, Kangaroo Flat. I go, oh, here we go. She's going to be poor. She lives in a commission area. And what were the suburbs that you were laughing about? It's probably bad. We can't say, actually. There's probably 10 people on here from Kangaroo Flat. My nana lives in Kangaroo Flat, I'll have you know, so I'm not judging anymore. That was the old Jay. So we can be very creative with how we judge people. Sometimes they can be senior, like Marie's example, Mary. Sometimes it's because they're young and young people can't afford to buy product. Sometimes it's because they drive a Datsun 180B. And there's different forms of judging. We can judge down. We can assume that they don't have the money or won't see value in what we offer. Or we can judge up, thinking, oh, here comes Marie and her flash Mercedes. She's going to buy Kerastase and Olaplex. She'll be having a full head today as well. Thank you very much. And even by what their husband does for a living, or even by how many diamonds they have dripping off their fingers. So our only job is, again, to make a recommendation, whether they are wealthy, whether they are below the poverty line, whether they're young, old, black, blue, gay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your only job is to give them options, regardless of their status. Cool? And the last one is we're human. Sometimes we legitimately forget, or we choose not to and use the excuse, oh, I forgot, because that's a really easy excuse. It just click your fingers, it's on the tip of your tongue whenever you need it. So if you really understand the value of making recommendations to your client, guess what? You're not going to forget. Because I can guarantee if I asked you every single day, I want you to cash this $10 million check, would you forget?
No, I wouldn't.
No. And would you choose not to? Absolutely not. So we really need to understand the value that we're denying ourselves, the business, and our clients. Using the excuse of, I'm sorry, I forgot, just doesn't cut it. Okay, so what I would like you to do is I'd like you to write into the chat box, which depending on what device you're connecting, I'm pretty sure it'll be down the bottom. And I want you to write into the chat box, which one resonated with you? Was it the first one, the spend? Does that represent how you feel? Was it the second one, which was off the top of my head, it was the no? The third one, which you don't really feel like you've got a clear-cut system or policy. The fourth one, which is judge people. And thank you for being honest if you do write judge. And you've got two options. You can write it to the entire group or you can write it just to myself and Marie. And the last one is you use the excuse to forget, or you do legitimately forget or choose not to. So I'd love to hear from you. There's a few coming through at the moment.
Yeah, we've got some great answers. So yep. I think I judge people. I think we all do, exactly. Systems, definitely. Systems are a big concern in a lot of businesses. Systems and policies in place, someone's put. Judging people. Adrianne's put judging people. Joe put all of the above. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, so I think there's a few more coming through.
Chat box is blowing up.
That's it.
No, it's good. Thanks for being honest. And the first step to really making change is awareness and clarity. And you've made the first step, so well done. Now you know what you need to work on to help you get out of your own way. Okay, so it's all about mindset. Isn't it, Marie?
Absolutely. So let's have a little bit of a think. Just think for a moment. We'd like you to use the chat box again. I'd like you to write down for your business, what's that gap? So how many more items of retail do you believe that your business could be on selling every week? So as the example I showed you before with the real life salon, and it had quadrupled in retail by putting systems in place. What do you think that your business is missing out on? How many products would it be missing out on a week? So if you could just pop in to the chat box there, maybe you know how many clients come in and how many clients walk out with nothing. Do you know that number? Anyone pop into the chat box how many that might be?
And excellent, we've got a new message.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
30 plus, yeah. It's a common number, 30. And I did actually do a little example on 30. If there was 30 clients and going back to that average of $30 a product, that'd be around $900 a week. And that's really just skimming the edge. Like there's so much more. Someone's put a lot. Because a lot of people don't know that number. We don't look at the numbers enough in our business.
Yep.
Just on $30 of 30 products, it's $46,000 a year you're missing out on.
Someone said 50 bucket loads.
Natasha, 50 products. Wow.
Oh, Natasha Stotchest Boy has joined us.
That's it. Ray, 150 to 60% more. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. We're missing out on so much opportunity and someone else is actually grabbing it somewhere else because we're not doing our job.
Absolutely. So now what I would like you to do, we're really getting our money's worth out of this chat box this evening.
Right.
I want you to put a dollar value to this. So how many retail units are being left on the table every single week? So you might say, I think we could recommend comfortably, achievably, realistically, an extra 25 products per week. The average product price is $25. So I'm terrible at maths, so 25 times 25 is 625. So your average amount of products that you're missing out on recommending that you think's a realistic figure to aim towards, and the average product price, and give me some figures around this. I want to know to dollar value how much you're leaving on the table every week. Did that make sense to you, Marie?
Yeah, it did. So someone's just put a private message in, Adrian. So around $1,100 a week. Oh, that's massive.
Hang on, pulling out the calculator for that one.
Oh, here we go. 1,600 a week, someone said, and another 1,000 a week.
Oh, can't keep up. Hang on, I'm still at 1,100 a week. Yep. 1,600 times 52. Yep, good. Who else? 300 to 400 per day. I think you're open 6 days a week, aren't you? So
Rose that likes my earrings, she's put nearly $1,500 a week at $29.95 a product.
Yep, very good.
Karen, 300 to 400 a day. Wow, I love that. That's really getting granular, Karen.
Yep, good. All right, so based on some of those figures, some of you have a $57,000 problem in your business.
Wow.
Someone else has an $83,200 problem in their business, $67,000 problem, $25,000 problem. These are all guesstimates, but that's a huge amount of money. And if you're with a fantastic product company, most of you will be 100% markup. So that means those figures, 57,000, 83,000, 67,000, 25,000, half of that, wow, that's a new car. It is. That's exactly right, Rose. Yep. Half of that is profit margin. Isn't that a simple business model?
Absolutely.
Really simple. So simple we miss it. Okay. So you can't deny the fact of the potential that and impact that this could make to your business. Even if you reinvested that money in your business, imagine where you'd be in 12 months' time. These are huge problems, guys. And I think any problem that we have in a business, we can put a figure to. And it's just really easy, really tangible to put a number to a product or a service. So
we don't even need any more people coming in to make this money. This is just with the clients you've currently got.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now my there we go, wasn't working. So I think one thing that we need to remind ourselves all the time, because at the end of the day, we'll put on this work on this earth to ruffle our own feathers. Okay, so we're not completely selfish. I get that, but the buck stops with you. So we need to remind ourselves, how does recommending retail benefit the business? Yes, of course it does. So it benefits the business in lost revenue, potential revenue. It's also been proven that retention rates go up. If a client buys one product off you, their retention rate's on average 50%. If someone buys two products off you, it goes to 75%. If someone buys three products or more, their retention goes to 90%. So the more products and services that someone buys from you, the higher the retention. So yes, it's a no-brainer. Of course it benefits the business. Does it benefit you as the salon owner or the stylist or the beauty therapist or nurse injector, whatever you are? Absolutely it benefits you. If you're a team member, imagine how much closer you would be to reaching your target if your average client spend went up by 30 to 40%. Incredible. With the same amount of clients reaching your target every single week. You can do that with retail. You really can. And also, does it benefit the client? Now, depending on the service, I've always said that 50% of what we do in the salon solves the client's problem. The other 50% is what you recommend for them to do at home with home care, looking after their hair, giving them advice on how often they should cleanse and tone their skin, how often they should use their vitamin A serum, what shampoos and conditioners they're using. 50% of their solution can be solved at home. Is Marie there?
I am taking ownership. So really have a think about it. One thing that we have at Zing is this slogan, I'm the problem and I'm the solution. You need to take control of what's happening in your business and you need to fix it, because the only person that's going to do this is you. Whether you're a therapist, a hairdresser, or a business owner, we're the problem and we're the solution. So make a change. The other is you've got to have a plan. To leverage your business and grow, you need to have systems in place and make a plan. Have a think about a different type of industry. So a builder wouldn't just walk up and say, okay, we're going to build today. He'd have a plan. You wouldn't just walk into a cafe and say, oh, everything's cooked. They had to have a plan and work out what the ingredients were for all the things that they would be showcasing. Every business that there is around, there's a plan. So group accountability, it's got to be all in. So every single one of you needs to be part of that plan. And when you're in, we're all in. So 50% of when a client comes into your business is what you do. So you may be doing someone's hair, you might be doing an injectable service, it could be a waxing, facial, or even some foils. So whatever they're having done, half of it is done in the salon. The other half is what they do at home. And if you're not retailing to your clients, I don't know about any of you, but if I didn't put a product on my hair and the 26 products that I use before I walk out the door, there's no way I'd look the way I am, because my hair would feel terrible, my skin would feel terrible, and I've got to have my red lipstick on every day. So all of those products aren't just bought anywhere. I buy them in a salon. So think about what this missed opportunity is, and the accountability needs to be the whole team together making that plan. So monkey see, monkey do. What this means is if you're doing it, your team will do it. So if you're a business owner watching tonight or listening later on, when you do it, the team follow. It's a bit like parents. Parents do it, the kids follow. So make sure that you're setting realistic and a level of outlook for your team that they can follow the leader, because they will.
Absolutely. So what we have here, I love this term, low-hanging fruit. Marie.
It's actually my favourite. I'm laughing.
Yes, and also throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's my saying at the moment. I'm using that every second sentence. The low-hanging fruit means it's just in reach. Just go and grab it. This is how simple it is. It's easy. And this is an example of all I think that you need to have as a system in your business. Okay, so we've spoken so much about mindset, and now it's time to talk about strategy, what you're going to actually do to implement change into your salon tomorrow. So again, half of your clients' problems are solved in the salon. The other half is solved at home. We've been really clear about that. And the first time I heard that was years and years ago by a lovely beauty therapist in Sydney. And she says to her clients when she's doing a skin treatment, 20% of the solution I'm doing today, the other 80% is what you do at home. And I thought, wow, I never heard of it like that before. And that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So what I would like you to do is ask them what their concerns are with their hair, with their skin, and provide solutions. So if they're booked in for a brow wax, ask them, what are your concerns with your brows? Tell me what you like and tell me what you don't like, and provide them with a solution. The other example is with their hair. Instead of saying, what are we doing today? Ask them, what do you like and what don't you like? What are your concerns? What are you not loving at the moment? And provide solutions that last outside of the service.
So true, isn't it? Because when I go and get my hair done, I always like them to ask me questions, because in between visits, so much happens between one hair appointment to the next. Same with all your beauty appointments. I went for a massage yesterday and he said, what's happened since your last appointment? I think, yes, I've got a sore hip and a sore leg. And so things happen. So you actually have to ask the question so that they actually can fill your needs as a client.
Yep, that's right. The second point here is show the client the product. Makes sense, doesn't it? So if you're using a brow pencil, a heat protector, moisturizer, a serum, whatever, give the client the product to look at. So if you're styling a client's hair in the styling chair, they've got a station in front of them. They put their handbag, their tea and coffee, and their magazines on it. And there's always space to put the product. It doesn't belong on the styling product shelf. It does not belong on your trolley. It belongs in front of the client. Now, you don't need to line it up like a little sales pitch. You just need to tell them something about the product. Explain where to use it in their hair, how and why you're using it. It's like show and tell, and pop it in front of them, or even better, hand it to them. This is what I'm using today. Just going to pop it on your mid-lengths and ends. It's going to help smooth the hair out while I'm blow drying, and it also protects your hair from the heat. Pop it in front of them. They'll go, okay, cool. They'll pick it up. They'll smell it. They'll look at it, or they'll just keep talking about themselves. That's okay. But think about when you shop online. Imagine what eBay would be like to shop on if it didn't have pictures. I'd never buy anything that didn't have a picture. So you're using all these beautiful products on your clients and you're popping it back on the shelf. What's the point?
It's a bit like the Riffy mitt. I used to always have the little rough mitt that you use after in between waxing. And if you were to try and explain that, it was like a scratchy mitt. So for me not to forget, if I was in a beauty room, I would say, I've got to show you that Riffy mitt. And I'd bring it back into the room and I'd say, have a feel. And they go, oh, that's rough. And then I'd always tell them a little joke about it and say things like, oh, I caught my husband in the shower one Saturday afternoon cleaning the shower with it. But I let him go because I think they're the key thing. You go, oh, he's cleaning the shower. That's good.
Cool.
So you've got to show and tell every product that you use.
Absolutely. Another thing that you need to do is every single service that you offer, or every category of service, so it could be foiling, tinting, cutting and blow drying, or balayage, or it could be facial waxing, body waxing, tanning, and facials. Every single service or category of service can be complemented by another service or a product. And it's your job to introduce those products and services to your clients. And one task that I gave to one of my clients last week or the week before, I can't remember. She's actually here today. It's Lisa. Was every category of service. I want you to write down what makes sense to recommend as for a service and as for a product. So as Marie mentioned, if you're doing a half leg wax, what would you recommend? Full leg wax. Absolutely. And a Riffy mitt and some bumper razor and some aftercare, some moisturizer. Solve their problems.
That's it. And at the end of the service, I think this is one of the areas that a lot of people struggle. It's that awkward moment because they do it at reception, where if you're really honed in at the start of the appointment and find out, what's been your concerns in between visits, if it's your hair, what have you struggled with when in between waxes? Has it been ingrown hairs? Has it been your hair's been dry, if it's for your foils? So you need to hone in. And when you find out that dissatisfaction, recap before you leave the beauty room and before you leave the client at the chair. So for your hair today, this is what I would recommend. So they've already sealed the deal, because when you do it at reception, the problem that they have is that it's awkward. And the awkward moment is you've got to take the money, you've got to rebook, try and sell as we think it is, and most forget to get their money because there was so many things happening. So asking at the end is good, but do it as a recapping, but don't do it at reception.
Absolutely. So it'd be like the waiter or waitress saying to you at the till, are you having any dessert this evening? No, because the experience is over. It's done. So I always recommend, if it's a beauty treatment, that it's done in the rooms. And I have had salon owners say, if I kept every single brow colour or brow pencil in every single beauty room, that's $1,000 worth of product. Good. That's fine. I'm happy with that. If it results in you educating your clients, do it.
Exactly.
As long as there's follow through. So it's that simple. Processes and systems need to be that simple. So we're at the end now, and it's time for you to ask any questions. So some of you are watching with your team, and some of you are onesies. That's an affectionate name that we call people that work solo in their hair and beauty salons. So we'd love you to enter into the chat box any questions that you have or any issues that you have around recommendation. Anything that we haven't mentioned already that we could help you with. We have finished a little bit earlier. But before that, we want to make sure that we're really clear that the fact that retailing hasn't been a part of your core service up until now, when we really pull back and look down from 50,000 feet, the problem is leadership. It's a leadership thing. So if you were a strong and confident leader in your salon to your clients and also to your team, retail would already have been considered and it would be a part of your every week revenue. So one thing that we work on at Zing is we don't come in and train your team for you and not teach you the skill. We teach you how to be a strong and confident leader. Now, a leader is not a manager. A manager dictates. A leader gets their hands dirty and doesn't expect anyone to do anything that they wouldn't do themselves, and something we're really passionate about at Zing. So if you would like to be a strong and confident leader and have a future-proof business, we'd love to hear from you. We want to work with you. So we do have an offer for any potential client out there or any of our existing clients as well. So if you would like to get in touch with us at Zing and find out more about what we do, we have coaching programs from Mastermind, which is an amazing 30-week program, all the way up to one-on-one bespoke coaching, and also the Entrepreneurs Collective, which is for graduate Zing clients that have moved up to the next level. Now, our entry point Mastermind, the whole 30-week program is just under $6,000. And we've already worked out that some of you have $83,000 problems. So what are you waiting for? Doesn't make sense. Let us help you fix these problems. So if you're serious about making change, I'm going to enter into the chat box a link where you can select either myself or Marie, and you can make time to have a 30-minute phone call with either of us to discuss what you'd like to do moving forward, if you would like to work with us or not. So our mastermind program only starts from $199, and it might be the right fit for you. It may not be, and that's okay. So like I recommended for you at the start of the day, is recommend with not the expectation that people will say yes or no. And we use that same ethos at Zing. We are not going to go into a sales conversation with you and make you do anything that you don't want to do. It's free will. It's up to you. It's about building value and solving problems, and that's what we want to do for you tonight. So I'll pop the link in the chat box, and if you're interested, copy and paste it, click the link and book in your turbo call. And if you do that tonight, we've got a Danos Direct special offer. How amazing. If you book in a turbo call tonight, we will give you a free retail training in January for you and your team, which is amazing. So that will be with either myself, Marie, or one of our coaches. And we will also give you a copy of Lisa Conway's Your Salon Retail, which is amazing. So if you're interested, click the link in the chat box and get in touch. And we'd love to have a chat to you about how we could work together in the future. Is there anything that you wanted to add, Marie Drever?
I think the only thing is, just so everyone's aware of all of our coaching programs and what they have is, you know, we work on your numbers, we work on budgets to help you. So whether that's knowing what it costs to open the doors of your salon, right through to stock budgets, systems, as Jay mentioned, marketing, and anything to help with your team. So we have a whole system with literally thousands of templates that can not only help you, but will help you to deliver how it should be delivered, because that's the part that we really get stuck on as a business owner. So I think pop your name down and would love to have a chat.
Absolutely. So someone said, do it, you won't regret it. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Very good. So there's some questions coming through now. And just as a reminder, any of our existing clients that are on tonight, let us know if you don't have a copy of Lisa Conway's Your Salon Retail. We'll get that out to you ASAP. And of course, let's book in a retail training in January. So Vicky has asked a question. How do I set the example if I'm not a therapist in the business without making the therapist feel like they aren't doing their job? i.e. asking clients their concerns when the therapist may or may not do this in the room. So the first thing is that the figures don't lie, Vicky. So if a therapist is telling you that they're recommending and following a system, especially one that we've looked over and we know that works because we've got our noses in so many people's businesses, if they're following that system, the results will be in the figures, to be honest. If they're not, I call BS on it. So I think you don't need to be a therapist to see the value in the business. Let me bring this up. I think you can still see my screen. So in the business, for you as the therapist and them as the client. So simply asking your therapist, and this is called getting someone into an agreement frame. Would you agree that when we do a microdermabrasion on a client, that they still need to do something on their skin at home to maintain the results, to get the best result? Would you say that's true? And they say, yes, yep, I believe that's true. Would you also say that if they had a microdermabrasion once every 6 weeks and then didn't cleanse or tone or moisturize or use an eye cream, it's kind of a waste of time? Yeah, I agree with that. Do you agree that it's a benefit to the client if they were to exfoliate once a week after their microdermabrasion and use a vitamin C serum to replace any moisture and to infuse hyaluronic acid? Do you agree that that's a benefit to them? They say, yeah, of course, absolutely. Everyone needs a vitamin C. And do you agree that it's a benefit to you being able to recommend these products and services to build value and also so you're closer to reach your target? Do you believe that that's a benefit for you? Yes, it is. All right, so why aren't we doing it? Does that make sense? So you've got them into an agreement frame. They're saying, yes, yes, of course, yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes, I'm committed, definitely, 100%. Then why aren't we doing it? Doesn't make sense. It's not logical to not do it. So that would be my advice. With the block of not being a therapist, any industry, in any business, there's always an on-sell. There's always something that you can recommend. I don't believe that you need to be a beauty therapist or a hairdresser to have a thriving salon. In fact, the clients that I've looked after that are not hairdressers, that run hair salons, run very tight ships because us hairdressers, I'm allowed to say this because I'm one of them, us hairdressers are creatives. We're not good at detail. So, so the people that run hair salons that are not hairdressers, they tend to have their systems down pat. That's not the rule. There's exceptions to that, of course. But Vicky, no worries, Vicky. So I think there's different quality excuses. So one bullshit excuse is, oh, sorry, Vicky, I forgot. A really good quality excuse is, you're not a beauty therapist, Vicky, you don't understand. You actually don't need to. The basics are 50% in the salon, 50% at home.
Exactly.
I must be tired. That sounded a bit aggressive. Sorry, Vicky, if that came across aggressive.
No, it's not. It's passionate, Jay.
Oh, good. Let's use that excuse. Does anyone have any other questions or are they too scared?
Karen would like a retail training.
Done.
Yep, we've got that down.
Yep. Done. I can hear crickets. I think that's our time to sign off. And look at that, Marie. 4 minutes early we finished.
Perfect.
We'll
Good
have to give
job.
them their money back.
Good teamwork.
That's right. Thank you very much for coming. And just a reminder, Rose, you want a retail training? Absolutely. Let's lock it in. Just a reminder that I've just popped the scheduling link in the chat box so that you can make a time to have a chat to us if you'd like to explore working with us in the future. Can we help you? Maybe. We'll let you know if we can, and if we can't, we'll let you know that also. So we look forward to hearing from you. And like always, we will follow up with with an email with the recording so you can watch it later on, and also share it with your team. Very important that you all get on the same page.
Yep, fantastic. And Courtney's after a book and a training as well. Thanks, Courtney.
Yep, done. Can do that. Perfect.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
See you soon.
Bye.